What would you ask for if you knew you had only a few hours left to live? Some people ask for expensive meals. Others want to leave a final message to the world. But one man, sitting alone on death row, made a request that left everyone speechless. He didn't ask for luxury, revenge, or even a last cigarette. All he wanted was to see his dog. But what started as a quiet farewell quickly became something no one expected. Because in that cold room, where every second counted, there was a silent presence carrying secrets no one had ever investigated. What really happened during that visit? What did this man know, or maybe, what did he never know? And why did this final request shake an entire town to its core? Stay with us until the very end, because this is not just a story about a last wish, this is a story about a hidden truth that should have never been forgotten. The only sound inside cell 17 was the slow, tired spin of an old ceiling fan. Michael sat on the edge of his narrow bed, staring at his hands that once fixed fences, planted crops, and held nothing but kindness. Now, they were cuffed like the hands of a monster. But Michael knew the truth. And that truth was about to die with him. Today was his last day. Every guard, every inmate, they all knew. The quiet man from the farm was walking to the electric chair. No appeals left. No family to fight for him. Just silence. When they asked Michael for his last request, his answer stunned everyone. No steak dinner. No cigarette. No dramatic final words. All he wanted was to see his dog, Buddy. Even the toughest guards had to clear their throats after hearing that. In a place where death row inmates usually asked for feasts or cursed the world, Michael just wanted a few minutes with his only friend. As the request spread through the prison, some laughed. Others shook their heads. But deep down, everyone felt that uncomfortable twist in their stomach. A man, about to die, asking only for his dog. What kind of bond could survive all this? When Buddy finally arrived at the prison, dirty and tired from walking miles to get there, Michael couldn't hold back the tears. Buddy wagged his tail like this was just another visit, completely unaware of the cruel reality. But for Michael, this wasn't a visit. It was goodbye. Or, so he thought. Before his name made headlines as a killer, Michael lived a life no one really noticed. He was the farm's handyman, living in a tiny house out back. His days were slow and simple, fixing broken gates, feeding horses, and ending every evening with Buddy at his feet, watching the sun disappear. Michael had no wife, no kids, no big dreams. Just a quiet life and a loyal dog who never left his side. They shared everything, from leftover dinner scraps to the sound of crickets at night. Buddy wasn't just a pet. He was family. But there was one bright spark in Michael's quiet world, Angela, the farm owner's daughter. She was bold, curious, and fearless. Always running barefoot across the fields, asking Michael a million questions, and hugging Buddy every chance she got. She called Michael Uncle Mike and treated him like her own personal hero. Then one afternoon, Angela disappeared. 1 minute she was there, giggling near the fence. The next, gone. No sounds. No screams. Just silence. The whole town panicked. Search parties formed. Police brought in dogs. And when no trace of Angela was found, fear turned into blame. Who was the last person seen with her? Michael. The poor, quiet handyman. No alibi. No family to defend him. Just an easy target for the town's fear and frustration. Police stormed his little house that night. Buddy barked until his voice broke, but no one cared. Under the bed, they found bloody clothes and a small teddy bear, exactly like the one Angela always carried. Michael tried to explain. He had no idea how those things got there. But no one listened. His arrest was fast. His trial even faster. No body. No witnesses. Just evidence that seemed almost too perfect. The town needed a villain, and Michael was easy to frame. Sentenced to the electric chair, Michael sat in his cell for months, while Buddy waited at the edge of the farm, still expecting his best friend to come home. Execution day came with no drama. No protests. Just the sound of heavy boots and jingling keys outside Michael's cell. He stood up slowly, ready for the walk no one ever comes back from. All he asked for was Buddy. Even the guards, used to every kind of hardened criminal, felt uneasy about it. When Buddy arrived, tired and scruffy, the corridor fell silent. Some inmates banged on their cell doors. Others just watched in awe. Michael dropped to his knees, wrapping his arms around Buddy like a drowning man grabbing a lifeline. No words. Just pure, quiet love between a man and his dog. Then Michael felt something, stuck deep in Buddy's fur. A small object, caked in dirt. When Michael pulled it out, his heart stopped. It was a baby tooth. A child's tooth. His hands shook as he turned it over. Before anyone could process that, Buddy lowered his head and spit out a half-eaten fruit onto the floor. A very specific fruit, one that only grew on the neighboring farm. Every guard, every lawyer, every inmate, they all knew something was wrong. This was no coincidence. Michael, calm for the first time in months, looked straight at them and said, "Do you want the truth? Then listen carefully." The guards hesitated. It wasn't normal to pause an execution for a last-minute confession. But there was something in Michael's voice, something too real to ignore. With his wrists still cuffed, Michael told them everything. About Angela. About her secret game, sneaking off to the abandoned farm next door. And about Buddy, her loyal guardian, always following to keep her safe. The fruit Buddy brought? It only grew there. But nobody knew, because Michael's lawyer never let him speak. The town wanted a quick conviction, not the messy truth. And then came the final twist. Buddy growled at someone standing near the execution room door. It was Robson, the neighbor who testified against Michael in court. The man who swore Angela never went near his farm. But Buddy remembered his scent. The execution was paused. The director ordered a team to search Robson's farm immediately. And there, in a locked barn, they found Angela, scared, tired, but alive. She told them everything. How Robson took her, how she dropped clues for Buddy every chance she got. The tooth fell when she bit the ropes tying her hands. The fruit? Her favorite snack from the farm's orchard. Buddy didn't just visit Michael for comfort. He came carrying the truth in his fur and teeth. News of Angela's rescue spread fast. The town was stunned. Michael was innocent, a man they destroyed with their own fear. When Michael walked out of that prison, Buddy at his side, the whole town showed up. Some clapped. Some cried. And some couldn't even look him in the eye. They gave Michael the keys to the city, but he didn't want honors. All he wanted was peace. With his compensation money, Michael bought a small, quiet farm, far from curious eyes. A place where he, Buddy, and every unwanted dog could find safety and love. Buddy became a legend, the dog who saved his owner's life. But to Michael, Buddy was still just Buddy. His best friend. His shadow. His proof that loyalty can survive anything. And every time someone asked how Michael survived all those years of pain, he always gave the same answer. Because I was never alone. Stories like this make us wonder, how many times was the truth right in front of us, but we chose to ignore it? How many lives were destroyed because judging is easier than listening? Michael almost lost everything, his freedom, his dignity, even his life, all because of a truth no one wanted to see. But in the end, it wasn't the justice system that saved him, it was the invisible bond between a man and his best friend. Maybe that's the real lesson here, the truth always leaves clues, even if nobody wants to find them. And true love, the kind that doesn't need words, always finds a way to be heard, even if it's in the very last hours of a man's life. Now we want to hear from you. What would your last wish be if you only had a few hours left to live? Let us know in the comments. And if you love stories like this, full of twists, emotions, and life lessons, there's so much more waiting for you here on Just Imagine. Every video holds a hidden truth, just waiting to be discovered. Pick the next one and keep watching.